Om Sarvopanishad Gavo Dogda Gopala Nandana Parthavatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Maha. All the Upanishads are like a cow. The cowherd boy is Krishna. The calf is Arjuna. People of purified intellects are the drinkers of the milk, and the milk is the supreme nectar called the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 7, verses 24 to 26. We've titled this Yogamaya, that which obscures reality. It's a very profound, you can say, aspect in Vedanta. We will touch just briefly what exactly obscures the reality. The unintelligent do not know of my supreme state, which is immutable and unsurpassable. They think of me to be some unmanifest entity that has now become manifest or embodied. He is very clear. The unintelligent here. So what about those? We're not talking about just ordinary intelligence. This is that spiritual intelligence, that insight which one gets not from the subconsciousness. We talk about insights and intuitions, but this is nothing but a play of the subconscious. This is a higher intuitive knowledge that comes from the superconsciousness. So till we reach that state, we are all unintelligent. They do not know my supreme state, which is immutable or eternal, and super excellent or unsurpassable. They think of me as the Lord wasn't here 2 days ago, now the Lord is here, manifest. From the unmanifest, the Lord has become manifest. This is part of the great doctrine of the avatars. So the Sanskrit sloka is Avyaktam Vyaktima Pannam Manyante Mam Abuddhayah Param Bhavam Ajananto Mama Avyayam Anuttamam. Mama Avyayam Anuttamam. It's, these beautiful words in Sanskrit, they encapsulate the whole of this mystery of divine incarnations. So, avyaktam, vyakta is to reveal, to become manifest. Avyakta is unrevealed, unmanifest. And that, saying, thou that has attained apannam, manifestation, vyaktam. In Indian philosophy, the first thing is reality cannot change its nature. The reality will remain reality in all the three states of time, in all the states of matter, etc. You cannot have a reality which is a father who has now become the son. No. that means that reality is mutable. We cannot have a reality that's mutable. If a reality changes from one state to the other, it is not the reality. So that's the reason why this is very clear that no, my reality is my reality. And there's a difference in what you see. So here he's saying, that's why he's saying, Mam Abud, the unintelligent thing, oh, I have become incarnated. Here, not in reality, through an appearance. So here he's saying, Param Bhavam Ajan. They are not aware, they do not know my supreme state, my supreme reality, which is saying, he's saying, my mom, my. Saying, what is he saying? He's saying, it is immutable and it is unsurpassable. Anuttamam. This is the Lord's state. What is the reality? This is the reality. So what do we see? We see a kind of an appearance. This appearance is called Yogamaya. Okay. We will go through this and then we will go down to the next verse, which he specifically says, yeah, I am covered by my Yogamaya. So the Lord has, the Supreme Reality has two states. One state when that same reality is associated with all its limiting adjuncts. For instance, what is the limiting adjuncts of the Lord? The universal mind, the universal intelligence, the universal consciousness, the universal body, the whole universe is the Lord's limiting adjunct. So when you see smoke on a hill, I'm sorry I have to use this old Indian, you can say, illustration, because California fires all over the place and it's a grim reminder. When you see the smoke on a hill, you know it's fire. So when you see the totality, the whole universe, it forms, as it were, the body of God. But that itself should be known as, that is the limiting adjunct. So you can recognize the fire through the smoke. So you can recognize that reality through this universe. When you see this universe, Sri Ramakrishna says, when you see creation, automatically you get the idea of a creator. When you see the magic, you will know that this is through the magician. These two cannot be separate. Okay? Though the magic has nothing to do with the magician as a person, yet they are associated. There is another supreme state of the Lord where the reality is in its pure unconditional aspect. There is no limiting adjunct, no upadhis at all. That is the supreme state. So people, the unintelligent, they do not know these two states, the saguna and the nirguna, with qualities and without qualities. And what do they think? They think that, yes, now this person here, he acts like us. that person is subject to hunger, thirst, grief, pain, misery, like us. So, it has to be an individual soul. So they take the Lord to be an individual soul. This is why, say, later on he will say, Avajananti Mamuda Manushim Tanumashita. The people do not realize, foolish people do not realize that they think that I've taken up a human body, not knowing my supreme nature, Param Bhavam Ajanantu. What? I am the Lord of all creatures. Mama Bhuta Maheshwara. I am the Lord of all creatures. They think, yeah, this person is an individual. No. And why is that? Because of that Yogamaya that covers. Okay, I think this is clear. Kind of I've laid down certain, you can say, premises. And they worship these beings like they are some elevated soul or some kind of saints. When I first came here, then I was saying, then Sri Ramakrishna, he's a saint of Dakshineshwar. What? Saint of Dakshineshwar? In the old days, they were kind of really, feeling kind of constrained to declare what Sri Ramakrishna's nature was. Oh, the saint of Dakshineshwar. Oh, really? And I slammed one person. But slamming that person does not help. Things are so covered with that grossness. Oh, everybody says, yeah, everybody says. This is how we get deluded. We take things as a very saintly person. No. And the saintliness has got nothing to do with an incarnation. Okay. So this is, what is it? See, here is a thing. This is correct. Now we'll go to the next verse, which is an elaboration of this. The ideas are elaborated. Being enveloped by Yogamaya, I do not become manifest to all. This person, this world, being deluded, does not recognize me, who am birthless and undecaying. So the Lord's birth, etc., is an appearance. The Lord who is birthless cannot take birth. How can that which is birthless take birth? How can that which is infinite now become finite? How can that which is limitless becomes limited? It goes against every logical, you can say, model of thinking. How is that? It's not possible. Yeah. So, I'll concentrate on this. Na aham prakasha sarvasya Yogamaya samavrita. Na aham, I. He's using. Now, this needs a little clarification. Swami Vivekananda says, wherever you see and hear the Lord using the word I, the personal pronoun, I, me, mine, he's using it when he is identified with the Atman, which is all-pervading, not as an individual. Okay? So so we also use the word I. The Lord also using the word I. So we are more or less same. He has got an ego. I've got an ego. No. Metaphysically, it is the Lord as identified with the Atman. That speaks. And that also needs another clarification. Swami Vivekananda, when he was teaching Swami Turiyananda says of him that he traveled, lived and preached Vedanta in the West as well as in India, everywhere, with only a small portion of his mind. The rest of his mind was identified with the Atman. Yes, people think, oh, Vivekananda, yeah, you can preach, yeah. You don't know the greater part of his mind was established in truth. And it was through that he spoke. So here he's saying, Na aham prakasha, I am not revealed, I am not manifest to all. Sarvasya, and to all, he's saying, it doesn't make any distinction. Why? Yoga Maya Samavrita. Because I'm covered or enveloped with Yogamaya. So, Mudo, Sri Ramakrishna has not used the word fool so many times as the Bhagavad Gita has used. A fool is a fool. Mam abuddhaya, kind of unintelligent. They're foolish people. Is he kind of deriding us? He's trying to wake us up. That your intelligence is so kind of gross, it will not help you penetrate the secrets of this spiritual life. Mudoyam na vijanati. So this world, this person does not know me. Mam, me who? Ajam avyayam. I am birthless and I am without decay, immutable. So this is kind of wonderful. So here, now, the first instances of this idea of Yogamaya comes when Sri Krishna himself was born. Okay. Now his uncle, the famous Kamsa, that's why all uncles are dangerous. They say, uncle, oh yeah. He was kind of told, intimated that Devaki's seventh child will kill him. So you better kill him. And Narad was there, he was a troublemaker all the time. So anyway, so he was waiting for the child to be born. And when the child was born, he entered into that prison house where his sister Devaki and Vasudeva were there. And he takes the child and he wants to smash that child's head on the prison wall. And as he lifted the child takes the form of a small bird and flies. There was a switch that was made. Nanda and Yashoda, the foster parents of Sri Krishna at Gokula, a girl child was born to them. And that girl child was switched with Sri Krishna, and Sri Krishna was taken to them. So there was a switch made. So, what that evil uncle did was he took the child thinking it was Sri Krishna, but it was Yogamaya, the divine mother. She had taken this form of the divine child and she flew out of it and she takes the form of a bird, Shankachila, kite. It's called these Brahmani kites, kind of. It's a type of in India, that's why they are worshipped. The Divine Mother is worshipped through one of these kind of birds, kite. That's kind of, but she could have kept quiet. She said, "Oh, you foolish fellow! The one who's going to kill you is in Gokula, and he's safe. The child is safe." She could have kept quiet. And then he was so furious, he's saying, let's kill all the children, newborn children. That was that slaying of the innocents. That was the first time. The second time it happened when Christ was born. I don't know who took the story from where. But Mahabharata was much older, much, much older. The Bhagavatam. So here, the switch. Now, we can see, to personalize it some more. Now, Yogin Ma, one of the associates of Holy Mother, she was kind of saying, Sri Ramakrishna was such a person, was full of renunciation and spirituality. And see, Holy Mother, my God. She's always saying, oh Radhi, oh Radhu, 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 Radhu. Her niece. Her father had passed away, and her sister-in-law, due to some reasons, she was frightened, and there was a burglary, and she got a shock, and all these things. Her husband had passed away, and she had lost her balance, and she had given birth to a child, girl child, who was named Radha Rani, who was called Radhi, and who then was Radhu. And Holy Mother was constantly, Radhu and Radhu, Radhu, Radhu. What is this? Sri Ramakrishna was so kind of free from all kind of Maya and see. And then she was meditating once on the bank of the Ganga. And on the bank of she saw a child, dead child, with its entrails like open and floating down. Then Sri Ramakrishna appeared. Does this pollute the Ganga? Ganga is by nature pure. No Holy Mother to be like that. So that was an eye-opener for Yogin Ma. So when Holy Mother, when she was sitting down in a village home, she saw one day a girl crawling on all fours, that niece of hers, crawling on all fours. The mother, she had lost her mind. Okay, she was dragging behind her a kind of a bed sheet. And the child, hungry, crawling behind that mad mother. They used to call her Pagli Mami, that is mad mother. And mother was so struck with that compassion, she takes that girl, lifts that girl, and Sri Ramakrishna appears, hold on to that. That is your Yogamaya. Earlier, he had, through a vision, shown Holy Mother that you will hold on to your body by holding on to Yogamaya. Hold it. Otherwise, mother's body wouldn't have lasted. Her mind was so elevated, the body would have just fragmented. She needed a support. And this support was called, what is Yogamaya? So the one aspect of the Divine Mother is called Yogamaya. Okay, this is clear? Enveloped by Yogamaya. So in this age we had Radhu. And only till the end, when he's saying, take away Radhu, I don't want to see your face. Then Swami Shardananda, he understood, now there's no way we can keep Holy Mother alive. Otherwise, all through Radhu, Radhu, Radhi, 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 take this, eat this. She's combing her head with this and that and all. And the Radhu was so kind of, she had become mad in a way, like her mother. But this is part of that divine Maya. It held mother's body. So they took the support of this Yogamaya. So here the Lord says, being enveloped by Yogamaya, I do not become revealed to all. People used to mistake Holy Mother, what is this attachment, such attachment to this girl? She is Yogamaya. Now, Shankaracharya says, what is yoga? One of the meanings of yoga is to yoke, to combine. So, what combines the aspects of nature, the gunas of nature? So, their combination is yoga. And this combination itself is called Maya. So, this is called Yogamaya. So, this whole of nature obscures reality. Obviously. Is this whole of nature? Yes, this whole of nature is an aspect of Maya. Because in the Upanishads, know nature to be Maya, and the ruler of this Maya is the Lord itself. So there are two aspects here: nature and the reality behind nature. Swami Vivekananda gives the example of a screen obscuring what you're supposed to see behind that screen. So there's a small aperture in that screen, and the screen is there as it is, but the small aperture, the hole, keeps on growing larger and larger. What changed? Nothing changed. You are exactly where you are. But as that hole kept on developing larger and larger, you are seeing more and more of the scene behind that screen. Nothing changed. What is that screen? This is nature. This is Maya. It is called, made up of the three gunas, Triguna Atmika. It is called Vishnu Maya. It is called Mahamaya. Okay, so many words. Plain nature for us. This nature is covering, obscuring the reality. Now the reality behind has a will. And this will works on this nature. That's why we say this, everything is an aspect of God's will. Nothing moves according to God's will. God's will is supreme. What is God's will? God's will, God's will. Yeah, this is what it is. Okay. Now, even that is not, now these are just metaphysical things. Let's look at it from the psychological standpoint. Okay, this will help us understand. Swami Vivekananda says, why can't we know the secret of this universe? Why can't we know the reality? So he says, because we talk in vain. Because we are running after desires. Because we are sense bound. We, as it were, cover the reality with a mist. What's that? Now, to bring it a little, fine-tune it a little more. See, we all know what we are, but we throw a screen around us by our thoughts, words, and deeds. People see those thoughts, words, and deeds. They do not see you, really you. Oh no, yeah. And you are having the last laugh. People judge you, people understand you according to what you have created. You have created a personality. Yeah, but you are not the personality. You are different from the personality. You have created the personality through your karma. This is what people see, judge, and understand. You are beyond. So we throw our own Maya. So the process of creating your own Maya is called Yogamaya, and that obscures you. I think this is clear? Yeah. Because the individual soul, the jiva, okay, it is constantly trying to manifest itself. It is taking various bodies, taking of various minds, it is doing various things. It is traveling from high and low and everything, and is trying to manifest and manifest and manifest. And this is its Yogamaya. The whole thing is depending on that individual consciousness's will. Okay. So you are sitting quietly here, but suddenly you think, I should go to the, you can say, Colorado River. So you start now working on that, thinking about it, now deeply, then planning. And then you take a plane or you go drive down and you go. What happened? You have worked out your will. So when you work out your will, in ordinary sense also, the Lord also works out His will. Let me be born. I will be born in the house of Vasudeva and Devaki. I will be born in the palace of Dasharatha, Kaushalya. Oh yeah. I will be born in that hut of Gadadhar, that Shudiram's, you can say, hut, small kind of cottage, and Chandramani. And it happens. Because the Lord's will is irrepressible, cannot be obstructed. So the Lord's will comes into being. So this is what is called Yogamaya. So here he says, being enveloped by my Maya, which conforms to the Lord's will, I do not become manifest to all. To all? In the earlier section, we had seen 4 classes of devotees. The afflicted, those who are the seekers, those who want success in things, and those who are the knowers, the knowledgeable, the jnani. These are the 4 devotees which the Lord says are really dear to me because they are sinless. And they are really they're seeking me, they're coming to me. Tribir gunamaye bhava ebi sarvamida. He had said in the 13th verse there, he's saying, these 3 gunas, they disrupt all your thinking processes. And that's why these people do not know me. I think this is clear. Yogamaya, not bad. We've covered a lot of ground, very briefly, of course. So we have our own Maya. We hide behind that. We hide behind a veil. We hide behind a curtain. Yeah, that's right. Swami Vivekananda, one time, towards the end, he's still grumbling. Saying, she's still behaving like my mother-in-law or something like that. Holy Mother never revealed her face to Swami Vivekananda. She used to always veil herself. Oh yeah. And he used to prostrate in front of her. He say, Mother, are you all right? No, she used to say, my child, are you all right? Yes, Mother, I'm all right. Mother, how are you? I'm fine, okay. And he used to give him grounding. She's not even revealing her face to me yet. So, take off that veil. There will come a time. But that will happen when you have taken off your own veil. That which covers you. That's the reason why Sri Ramakrishna says, those people who are by nature simple, they're transparent, they have had a lot of spiritual disciplines in their previous birth. That's why in this birth they are very... And Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, all of them were very simple. Amongst all of them, Subodhananda the youngest, one of the youngest was the most simple. Okay. Subodhana. So it speaks of, you have done away with all your Maya. Now you stand before the Lord as you are. Then the Lord will stand before you as He is. Take for instance, Sri Ramakrishna was struck with cancer. And everybody is saying, now see, everybody is declaring to be an incarnation, and see the state. And those who had kind of become disillusioned with Sri Ramakrishna's state of health, being an incarnation, how can this be? They had left. And Sri Ramakrishna, this is part of the play. Those who will stick around with me, will be with me, they will form the inner circle. Those guys will form the outer circle. So because, they could see things inside clearly. So Swami Turiyananda, when he was young, he goes to meet Sri Ramakrishna, who is now in Kashipur with the, and Sri Ramakrishna with his gestures telling, I cannot, like, I cannot eat, I cannot speak. So Swami Turiyananda, he says, but I see you are immersed in bliss. And Sri Ramakrishna smiled and said, this rascal has caught me. This is what some people outside, they are seeing Sri Ramakrishna's emaciated body and racked with pain and with cancer. And well, Swami Turiyananda is saying that he is immersed in bliss. Well, what do you say for this? Here, another instance. Here, he, even to turn on his side, he needed help. He had become so weak. So he couldn't move at all. And the boys, the young disciples, one day they were having picnic in the garden. And suddenly, Holy Mother used to live downstairs, just below his room. And suddenly, she saw Sri Ramakrishna shooting down the stairs, running out. What? Am I seeing? What am I seeing? He runs out and then comes running back in, shoots up the stairs. Then she follows him. What happened? Well, no, the boys are having a picnic there. I noticed that there was a black snake there. So I went in advance and told that snake, get away from here, the boys are coming to have picnic. So that snake is there. What do you say of this? Cannot even move on his side. This guy getting up and running about all over the place. Yeah, he had yogic powers and all. Apart from that, you can understand what you see of the Lord is not the totality. That is the Yogamaya. That is the Maya that he has thrown around him. Got this? Why? Because we also do that same thing. Yeah. We are also very clever. And that's why in the old days, the persona meant mask, In the old Greek dramas, there were two types, tragedy and comedy. Sometimes they had a combination of tragicomedy. And they used to wear masks. And they used to play the role. So that was a persona. And that is the mask we all put on. We know, apart from the surgical mask and from COVID and this and that. Now we have to put on your mask, put on your mask, and put on your mask. We need mask. That mask will save you. Don't be unmasked. So here we are, masked. Now we had, in the old days, we had those masked balls, the guys used to go with those. Or the cowboys used to tie the bandana, so that you didn't recognize. This is Yogamaya. How we try to obscure what others think of us. We want to obscure our own reality. We know our own reality. We want to, you can say, deflect people's knowledge about us. Okay. So this is this. We still have a little time. This, of course, I'll read the 26th. O Arjuna, he says, I know the past, the present, as also the future of all things, but no one knows me. This is what the whole thing is. Vedaham samadetani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Mam tu vedana kaschana. No. Nobody knows me. No one knows me. I know the past, the present, and the future of everything. Why? Because I am the Lord of all beings. So this is, he has thrown. Sri Ramakrishna gives another kind of a hilarious example, illustration rather. These huge silos full of grains, What these farmers do is they throw a little puff rice outside these silos, these granaries where the grains are stored. So the rats will come and eat that puff rice and leave. They will not be able to get into the granary, the silos. So the Lord also has thrown certain things around him. Keep your attention fixed on the Lord, not on the flowers. Oh, the flowers are nicely decorated. Yeah, nice. Don't keep your eyes on keep your attention on the flowers, please. Keep your eyes on the picture, Sri Ramakrishna's picture. That also is Yogamaya. Oh, yes. The candles, oh, yeah, I think they should be little slightly brighter. Can you turn it up? Yeah. Flowers are nice, rose. That also, the Lord throws all this Maya in front of him. You're interested in that? Go for that. You're interested in me? Come for me. That is what it is. So here he says, I know everybody and everything. But why can't he do something about it? So we'll take, why cannot he do something about it? He's doing it, but he throws the whole thing on us. Now we are to be blamed. So we'll take that aspect next Thursday. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.